All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Picking the Lock podcast. Tonight we've got a very small, just me and Kyle, just kind of shooting the breeze, catching up on some stuff. I have been out of the country for nearly 2 weeks. I spent some time in Europe, in Belgium, France first, then Belgium, and then Germany, doing some sightseeing, some touristy stuff, but most importantly, some World War II history spotting. And I got to stand in the field where my great grandfather was wounded in World War II. So that was a very emotional moment. So, but now I'm back, back to the good old United States, and we're gonna catch up on some of the stuff that happened while I was gone.
Oh, gross. I
Um,
just got the notification. lockbotCRM is live.
no,
What a prick.
that guy's a loser, and I hear his audio sucks.
It does suck. That guy,
Woo! Oh gosh, there are certain things in my life that just will never not be funny, and I'll leave it at that.
yes, like your audio.
So. Anyway, so I'm back and I've got Kyle with me, and you can go ahead and plug. Everybody knows who you are, but just go ahead and say your piece if you want.
All right, I'm AHM1K, the channel. You can look me up if you want.
Ah,
Yeah, I think that's actually the first time I've introduced myself where I didn't bash myself. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to keep on that tradition. I'm also a loser. I suck.
so a lot happened while I was away. There was San Diego Comic-Con, and a bunch of stuff was announced, and it's been an eventful few weeks, hasn't it?
Well, not only has Hasbro announced a lot of stuff, but Planet X announced a few things as well.
I know about these, or was this new?
I'm not sure if you know about these. These are relatively new, but
Oh, well then perhaps I don't. I might. We'll see. But as always, I've got the chat open and going. So if any of you people would like to comment and ask questions while we go along, then you are more than welcome to do so. We will
maybe
not
if
be
Lockbot is feeling generous enough, maybe someone can join. Maybe. However, if you're about to say no one is joining, I apologize for contradicting.
we will not be doing open invitations, but if somebody has something interesting to add, there's a good chance you might make it on. So
yeah,
normally we do a big round table, but tonight it's just trying to. We've got a lot of stuff to get through, and I don't have necessarily the time to to entertain a huge round table. So no open invitation, but maybe just maybe we could work something out if you're interested. But there aren't many people watching. I know it's a school night still. For me, school hasn't started yet, but
oh, school night. For shame.
well, hey, I'm in the upper echelons now. I'm a graduate student. I'm an elite.
I know you're now more educated than me on your first day.
Woo woo! And the best part is, it's not costing me a dime. Yeah, all right. Let's talk about Transformers. So the first thing, they did a lot at San Diego Comic-Con, but the first thing I'd like to touch on is the releases, and specifically we're going to talk about Cyberverse because you have to kind of get that stuff out of the way. I know that this isn't anything that I'm going to be interested in buying ever.
Yeah.
And I really am hoping that somebody derives joy from Cyberverse, but in my opinion, it's kind of a waste of kind of wasting my time. But we'll talk
Yes.
about it for those who might be interested in it, because I think from an engineering standpoint, I kind of am curious as to what they're doing here, and it's just kind of interesting. So I'm on this. These images are from TFW.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, so we'll just take a peek here. That's Megatron. That's a placeholder image. So some of these, the engineering allows for like a half transformation.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of curious as to why, like, Optimus's legs fold up and he turns into like a Gerwalk truck, basically. And he's got like a cannon firing gimmick. I'm not sure why there's this in between transformation step. Either it just doesn't make logical sense if you're gonna put the money and the effort into transforming halfway. I don't know why you wouldn't do the rest. I'm anxious to see if these sell well or not, because no matter what, they're gonna seem incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of up in the air, but it is interesting to look at and speculate on, because nothing like this has ever happened before, where we've got these figures that like half transform and that's it. So there's Prime and Slipstream, who Slipstream looks a lot like that Legend Starscream that came out a while ago.
Yeah. Well, look at this Slipstream gimmick where you can half transform to have legs for landing gear.
Yeah, that's got to be aerodynamic.
Yes. Or yes.
We'll see if the kids like these, but in my opinion, it's kind of interesting. So all of them have a spring out or motion gimmick that something happens to where they transform their weaponry, but usually they don't fully transform, which I find weird. That's the Scout class. Now, if you go to the Ultra class, these guys are actually transforming, and they don't appear to have any fancy gimmicks, which is cool. So it's just true to form Transformers, which is cool. I'm a big fan of that, and we'll touch on that later. But you got some cool Decepticons, and I did notice Acid Storm. This is like, have they ever led? They're leading with Slipstream and Acid Storm, and I'm totally okay with that. I think it's about time.
Interesting. It's different.
Yeah, I think it's about time the other Seekers got some love. So I'm digging it, and I know people have talked good about this Shockwave. So here's hoping that the rest of these figures are good. There's Megatron.
I mean, the Shockwave is kind of interesting that it kind of transforms into a walker-looking thing.
He looks like that thing from the PS2 game, the Armada PlayStation 2 game that walks around and shoots at you. He looks just like that.
I was even thinking just like a smaller scaled down version of the thing from Fall of Cybertron.
Yeah, that too. Shockwave's played too many video games.
Yeah, yes.
I like the Megatron design. It's very GEEWUN, but also modified to be a little bit beefier. I like that. And Windblade apparently is a huge part of this. So we'll see. Cyberverse appears to be... They showed a clip at San Diego Comic-Con, and I watched it, and it seems to be really neat, very lore-based, very... focused on the Transformers and their endeavors on Cybertron before the war and during the war. So it'll be interesting to see a television show that tackles Cybertronian history as its main point and not just a side thing. So relating back to the toys, I hope this whole experience is beneficial, even though it's not up my alley particularly.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall see.
Fingers crossed this doesn't kill the Transformers as a brand.
Yeah. I hope not. That would be terrible.
That is really the best I can hope for this series.
Now let's get into the meat. I like meat.
I love me a meat.
Siege of Cybertron, or Siege, actually. Just
Yeah.
the first installment in the War for Cybertron trilogy, where everybody
I'll
is...
say it. I've said it once. I'll say it again. This toy line name is a total trap.
Siege?
Just no, the War for Cybertron. It's a trap. Everybody thinks, oh my gosh, I'm about to play War for Cybertron. We're going to get some War for Cybertron toys. You're not getting that. You're just getting other toys.
Right.
I got really excited. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then nope. No, it's not.
Yeah, that was my first knee-jerk reaction. Was, oh, they're making toys from the video game. But wait a minute. That doesn't make sense because the video game's old, and why would they double back to do those figures? So I don't know. So what
I don't know. I think that about GEEWUN though.
Yeah, that's true.
GEEWUN's old, yet they perpetually double back to that.
Yeah. But what it ended up being is it's Cybertronian vehicles ish, vaguely Cybertronian. They don't look totally. I mean, they look like futuristic human vehicles in my opinion, and they've got some battle damage, so it's supposed to be a grittier, wartime line, which is kind of interesting. It's something we haven't really experienced before. But these are our first images. We've got some Legends guys here. A new version of Chromia, which I hear people are really crazy about. And, I didn't pick up any of the other versions. But it's cool that she's getting a figure in this new line. Especially since she was in that GEEWUN episode with the other female Autobots, which was cool. Cog, who looks very alien. And
I kind of like this guy, actually.
Yeah, something about him is just, it's very GEEWUN early design. You know what I mean? Like
it's like GEEWUN robot with a sort of War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron vehicle.
Right. I don't know. I like
War for Cybertron, knee slapper.
And then there's Hound, which, okay, I'm liking that. It looks very nice. I like how he doesn't have windows. Like, he's still got tires and lights, but he doesn't have windows, and I think that's pretty neat. It's unique. Hey, Optimus!
Exactly. I was just about to say that because this is the guy I'm definitely getting.
He looks
like
good.
The only guy I can absolutely say I will get him.
He looks good. He's beefy.
He is beefy.
And
he's going to go, hey, Optimus, for days.
I'm a fan. And then Lionizer. Cool. It looks like we're getting very small, like, Micromasters, which, cool. Like, Micromasters, I guess, are a lot of fun. There's a lot of potential there.
It's like a replacement for Hot Wheels.
Right. If you're asking me, I'm tired of the tiny figures. I was tired of the Titan Masters. Didn't even mess with the Prime Masters. And these are just going to be something else small. And hope they come in 2-packs, so you'll get your money's worth. But I don't know. I just am not a fan of tiny figures anymore.
Well, tiny figures lack the detail and articulation you want in a toy.
Well, I will say for these, detail's pretty on point. Now, here's the guy I really wanted to talk about. Because, darn it, Ultra Magnus looks really good. And I'm not sure what does it for me, but it's like a combination of the GEEWUN and the Robots in Disguise and a little bit of the Fall of Cybertron design. Not much, but a little bit. And that Leader Ultra Magnus that came out a couple years ago, I think this is probably a contender to be better than that figure.
Oh, the Combiner Wars one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming with that. I mean, I got the Combiner Wars one. I'm not going to pick this one up, but I can see where you're coming from.
He has a very neat aesthetic that I'm a big fan of.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, it's that trailer he's got on. That trailer is the part that really makes him kind of like the recognizably Ultra Magnus, not just a white Optimus.
Right. And I will. It is interesting. I heard somebody say that the Siege of Cybertron, the Siege Optimus, looks very different than the white Prime here. It's not like the same toy. So this is probably the first time that Magnus has had a Optimus-looking white body that's not an exact clone of the Optimus from the line. So
I mean, really, for me, I noticed the difference is more in the truck mode.
Yeah.
Because I thought like Optimus had like these two like jutting bars like coming out of the roof.
Yeah,
something
I think
like that.
I don't know. But the point is, these look very simple, but they look very good aesthetically, and I'm kind of excited to see how this line goes. Not sure if I'm going to pick any of it up, but so far so good. So Micromasters are neat. The deluxes look great. Yeah, looks good. All right, Studio Series is continuing
that
on.
Ironhide is really like the only thing I'm sold on, though. Stay Optimers.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, I think he would work as a stand-in for like a G1 Ironhide because he doesn't look too alien, which is great. So,
oh boy, the Studio Series.
So here's some more Studio Series stuff, and they're kind of integrating the higher quality, more collector-oriented figures from the Bumblebee movie into Studio Series, which I think is a great idea. Leave the kitty, basic toys in the main movie line, but then continue on with the Studio Series, which has been a more collector-based line, and kind of integrate it that way. I think, it's it's just simple to me. It's kind of a natural flow, I'd say. So I think they've made a good decision here. And this first figure you'll see is Dropkick. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not incredibly a big fan of it right now.
She's one of the main villains.
I know.
I like the helicopter.
I mean, the biggest thing for the Bumblebee movie for me is going to be all the retro cars.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need like a retro helicopter. What were you saying?
I think the helicopter looks great. I'd like to see some better pictures because, as we've established, and we'll talk about later, the stock photography of this never is flattering. So we'll try to do some more digging later on. There's another Hey Optimus. Yeah, he looks good. I don't know if I'm gonna get him, but I know a lot of people like Ironhide, and so it's probably time that they made a really good-looking Ironhide.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good, but I'll probably pass on him though.
Yeah. The KSI Sentry, which was a natural evolution, repaints are needed. So cool. If somebody wants to army build, you have my permission to army build this figure that is not very good. So go ahead.
It looks like they fixed something with the Stinger, the little claw on his arm.
Oh yeah,
actually made it look like a claw because Stinger, it's just the folded up roof of the vehicle. That actually looks like it's got the claw look to it.
Well, that's neat. I do like the Pagani.
Sucks, though.
The Pagani in blue looks really, really nice. But I'm not. And then another repaint we get, in case you like that version of Ratchet better from Dark of the Moon. There, that is. And he was that way in Age of Extinction too, before he died. But yeah, they've got to make
like this Ratchet better.
What?
I said me does like this Ratchet better.
Yeah, I remember his design being. I liked how they made it simpler, but I don't know. I've been on the fence about getting a Ratchet from Studio Series, but I don't think I'm gonna.
I mean, I'll definitely pass on it.
Well, it's there if somebody wants it. I'm sure people are collecting all of it.
Yeah,
And then
it's
another
there for
repaint,
someone.
the Shadow Raider, one of Lockdown's henchmen. That is a really cool burnt orange Lamborghini with the neat masked face.
Who bears an awfully striking resemblance to Lockdown?
Lockdown he's a team player. So all of his crew needs to look like him because they're a team. It's dress code. So,
however,
anyway.
the argument could be made it's body shaming because if you don't look like me, it's unacceptable.
Well, he'll turn his head into a giant gun and blow you up. So I think they're all right with it.
All right.
But anyway, so Shadow Raider looks pretty neat. Ooh, hang on a minute. This is what we've all been waiting for. Is the
I'm buying it.
Volkswagen Bumblebee. I am buying the crap out of this figure.
I'm buying 3 of them.
Why?
1 for play, 1 for display, and 1 just in case.
Ah. Well, good luck. Well, no, you probably will be able to find it.
Yeah, online.
He looks great. I don't have any complaints, and I know he's got a different head, so you don't have to have the masked head only.
Yeah. However, I do like the masked face better than the other one.
Yeah, I like it too. But I will tell you, it's pretty interesting. So,
it looks like he's got a little blade on his arm, which I do like.
He does.
He's gonna gank someone.
So yeah, I like that. So Studio Series is going to start to wind down. You're going to have a lot more repaints, but you're also going to get some good figures like this Bumblebee. So I'm excited. Bumblebee's on my list. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, same.
We saw the exclusives. They're re-releasing the Camaro Bumblebee in gold with the GEEWUN cassettes. Not really interested in that. And then the Throne of the Primes, which is that Optimal Optimus in the original Optimus Primal colors. I'm sure people really are into this, but for me, not particularly. So I mean, it's cool, but not a huge fan of that. Here's something. I'm shocked to see this happening, and it's a good shock, and I don't plan on buying any of these, but I think it's interesting that it's happening. They are re-releasing GEEWUN figures in their packaging, their original packaging, in Walmart.
What?
Yeah. So I went to a Walmart tonight, didn't see any, but for example, like Starscream here will be about $30. So it's important to know. Let me respond to this. Hold on. It's important to know that you're not, you're going to be paying for this. Like it is very much a nostalgic grab. But if you're into it, then I suppose you won't mind.
Yeah, I mean that's just.
Now they've got Starscream. They're going to re-release Hot Rod. The Devastator combo pack. And what gets me, you can re-release this stuff all you want. What gets me is they've got the original packaging. That's just that hits me in all the right places. I'm really happy they're doing that. It just shows a little bit that extra step of care and love that goes into these re-releases, and I think it's a good idea.
The sad part about them doing that though is that all the people who've been collecting these guys, the original G1s when they first came out, all these people, their things are about to get devalued to retail value of them presently.
Yeah, but you can tell that they're reissues. So, like for example, I'm glad you brought that up because this Bumblebee, he has the cartoon accurate head, and the original toy did not. So you'll be able to tell which ones are re-releases and which ones aren't. But for those of us that
but
like
I mean, it's still going to devalue it a little bit because there'll be the dude who's like, "Oh, I've had this Devastator; it's worth close to $1,000. Now there's this one for 50. Shit.
Starscream also comes with a G1 Megatron gun. That's new.
Nice. Oh boy.
They're re-releasing Outback. Weird choice.
Yeah, that's
Swerve.
Another kind of weird choice.
Yeah. Tailgate.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's really, really cool, I think, that they're doing that. Something else that's really cool, nostalgia button. Hey, guess what? They're going to show the 86 Transformers movies in theaters once again.
Your boy's already got his ticket.
I just recently bought this on Blu-ray, and I was sitting here watching it like, ooh, this is nice. Nice crystal clear quality. I'm really enjoying this. But the thought of going to see this movie in the theater is just intense. And to be honest, I feel like I'm gonna go see it.
I already bought the ticket, so I'm going. Catch y'all in the Auburn Theater, my dudes.
Right.
The Auburn Regal. For those who know what that means.
So, okay, let's see here. $300. That's insane. I just need you guys to understand. I forgot to bring this up, but also during San Diego Comic-Con, they released images of this new Masterpiece Convoy version 3. That's for the 35th anniversary.
Oh man, we already reached that point now where it's 35.
Yeah, I will be pre-ordering this Optimus because he is fantastic.
Yeah, I missed out. Pretty good.
I had MPO1. I had the Toys R Us exclusive version that came with the talking base, and I liked that figure. I missed out on MP10, and I kind of regretted not getting him. But I didn't have many masterpieces at that point. But now I've got Megatron, Shockwave, and Soundwave, and I need this Optimus. And I'm going to pre-order the crap out of this V3 Prime. The only thing that will stop me from pre-ordering it is if it is $300. Like, if it is very expensive, I don't feel like I'm going to be that inclined. But
have you seen the price tag on the Beast Wars Megatron? That's like 400, isn't it? No, it's 3 something.
Well, he's less than that. He's like 260 or something.
Really?
But yeah, Prime looks great.
I saw like 319.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see more color. I want to see colored images first, and then I want to know how much he's going to cost. But I want this figure really bad, and I just hope he's not very expensive. But here's the deal. A lot of people are just going to keep their MP10s, so I don't know how Hasbro, like with Megatron and Beast Wars Megatron, I could see where they would get away with charging a lot of money because, that's the first time those figures have been released and probably the last time. This is the third time we're getting a Masterpiece Convoy. And I think that they need to be very mindful of that when they price him out, because if they overprice this Optimus, people are not going to be inclined to buy him because MP10 was so popular and so widely released.
I mean, people are still like clawing for MP10.
Yeah. So we'll see. I hope he's not extremely expensive. he is, then Hasbro is either overconfident or stupid. But anyway.
Yes.
Yes. So, like I said, we're wanting to breeze through a lot tonight. So, this is just kind of an overview. But I would like to talk about some things that I got. Reviews. Everybody wants these over-edited, really showy, flashy reviews, and I just don't want to do that. So I figure at the end of each of these podcasts, I'll do a little talk about the things I've gotten and what I think about them, because I tend to be pretty opinionated. And Kyle and I have a shared figure to talk about, and he's got a funny story. So why don't we first, Kyle, talk about Brawl.
Yay.
Studio Series Brawl.
I just pulled him out of the packaging earlier while you were talking about Cyberverse.
What are your thoughts on him?
Initial thoughts. He is a fat head.
He does have a fat head.
That's really the only initial thought I got, really, at the moment. He's also heavier than I expected.
Yes.
And I guess
after my experience with Studio Series Bumblebee, I was kind of tentative to jump back in, because I knew that you can only really get lucky a few times before your luck runs out. But after coming back into the country and seeing these figures for the first time and knowing they were harder to find, I just bought them because it was just a knee-jerk reaction. And I can honestly say that I'm pleasantly surprised with how they turned out. Brawl has a couple complaints. He doesn't have a lot of posability. Like, he doesn't have ankle tilts, and he doesn't have anything at the waist, but he's got pretty much everything else you could ask for. You can see in his shoulders and his arms, there's plenty of joints. He's very expressive in the upper body. Getting him to stand and pose on the lower end of the spectrum is a little bit more difficult.
Yes.
He's insanely accurate, and he looks great in both modes, and the transformation is really cool and really solid. Everything tabs together really well. The tank turret does not rotate, but, I mean, come on, guys. It's, So, I think Brawl is a fantastic figure, and I really, really enjoy him. And I hope that Kyle feels the same way, because I highly recommended this figure.
He did. Last night, admittedly, I got Stinger and Bumblebee and the Studio Series Thundercracker, and all of which had major quality control issues. So I was pretty much like, 3 strikes, you're out, Hasbro. I'm done. But he pitched a really good game with Brawl and Megatron. And it was like, oh, well, maybe perhaps I need to rethink my ink. And so far, I am pleasantly surprised with Brawl.
So yeah, I like Brawl. I think he's good.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about the bad boy. I also bought Megatron. I saw 3 Brawls, bought one of the Brawls, and saw 1 Megatron and bought the Megatron. Holy crap! This is fantastic. This Megatron is wonderful. But Kyle has a story, and I think we need to hear that before we hear So I really enjoyed the figure, and I sang its praises to Kyle, and then he's got the story. Go ahead.
Say that again. You kind of cut out.
Tell your story about the Megatron. I bought it and I sang its praises, and you went looking for one and you found one, but are you receiving me? Kyle? Well, I think Kyle's internet is being a jerk. That's funny. Yeah, he's he's having some technical difficulties, so I'll just stall for time with my review of the figure until he gets back. Yes, so I think Megatron is fantastic. I have no complaints with his posability. I have no complaints with his accuracy. His articulation is fantastic. The pictures of him don't look great. It's really hard to get a good photo of all of his detail. But he's fantastic, and I'm a huge fan, and I'm really enjoying owning this figure, and it's just great. And if you buy any Studio Series Voyager, get this one because he's great. I can't sing his praises enough.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Is this working now?
Are you there?
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden everything went completely silent, and like the internet just decided you're done.
Well, I just finished talking about Megatron. So I said all that to Kyle, told him everything that I just told you guys, reviewing a figure, telling him it was great. So he goes looking for one, and he finds one, but
oh, do you have the picture?
I do have the picture.
Yeah, I happened to pick one up, and I was like, oh, hey, look, they actually have Megatron. This is the guy I was really looking at. He had no head. I shook the box around thinking, oh, maybe the head's just somewhere in the box. That's kind of odd, but, happens. It wasn't in the box. There was just no head. So I send Hunter this little picture here. He freaking laughs to the point of no end.
It's hilarious. I don't know how you can get away with that.
I don't either. But for viewers at home, this story doesn't end there. It gets a little juicier. I show this to my brother. He doesn't believe me, so we go looking for it at this very same Target. It's gone when we show up, which could mean two things. One, an employee saw that it was broken or missing a part. They took it off the shelf.
Probably
That's all
not.
right. Second option, though, some unknowing parent, not knowing what exactly they were buying, really, they just wanted to buy their child a hunk of plastic to satisfy them, bought a incomplete Megatron, and now there is someone out there who has a headless Megatron. Said child will not be happy, as they really did just get the hunkiest hunk of plastic.
Which I find hilarious.
Yes. Part of me wanted to get this guy as a, what was it, like, these Studio Series guys run for like $30, so it would have been like a $30 joke. But at the same time, that's a pricey joke there.
But joke's on someone else now.
Yeah, joke's on someone else. I mean, I didn't even have to pay for it now.
So anyway.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Studio Series is good. And I know we had some issues with the earlier waves, but they've really seemed to hit their stride, and I can honestly recommend now that you pick up a Studio Series, but make sure that the head is included before you take it to the checkout line.
Oh, yes, absolutely, because now that there's an option that you could possibly not get a complete Megatron, this changes things.
Absolutely, dude. So, anyway.
Actually, I'm trying to find something. Sorry.
That's right. I will say the jet lag is starting to hit me very hard, so I'm probably going to end real soon. We breezed through pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, so.
Yeah, there's just one thing I wanted to show you. You may be familiar with it, but you may not. But it's not seeming to load.
Planet X stuff?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a gander.
Here. I could screen share it actually for you.
Screen share.
You see my screen?
I am seeing your screen. Oh, yeah, I've seen these.
Okay, you saw the Ratchet.
Ironhide.
I had the longest ass time that the moment they made a Planet X Ironhide, it was going to be, hey, Optimus with Planet X. very satisfied.
I'm just not sure. I want to see colored images because the gray prototypes don't look that great to me, but I'm going to have to see colored images.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thanks for being here. I'm sorry it was short, but as I started talking, my brain was like, "You imbecile."
Yeah. It's like funny joke you being here and all.
Oh,
Not gonna last.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Hopefully, we'll be able to do more of this. I'd like to go a little bit further in depth with some more narrow conversation where it's not such a broad spectrum of topics, but we'll try to keep this going. So
It'll be a separate picking the lock for each topic.
yes, no,
or for Cybertron Studio Series.
Oh my.
Kyle's
Anyway,
Megatron story.
Thanks for watching and thanks for participating, and we'll see you later.
Catch you all on the dude side.
Bye.